Hi everyone, my name is Amin and this is my first video on YouTube in English. But the thing is, I might be very fresh on YouTube and this is my first video, but me and my team, we shot hundreds and hundreds of reviews and test drives for Chinese platforms of different, very special cars. Another thing is now Chinese market is something of a very special thing. The car makers, how they build cars, what kind of cars they build, the speed, the technologies they use. Sometimes it makes your mind go boom. So we're thinking, as now in China, this environment, we could say it's a rock and roll environment for the cars. Why do we keep it only for viewers in China? Why don't we share all of these cars, this environment with the world? So everyone, welcome to We're based in China, in a beautiful city, Ningbo. We shoot different cars, new cars, second-hand cars. We shoot internationally known cars, and we shoot Chinese cars for Chinese market. We also shoot lots of cars that are made in China, but for international market. So the choice is huge. Also, the cars that everyone knows, they are very different here in China. And that's why we would like to share all of this with you. And as our first car, we chose this one. This is ONVO L90, a very special car made by the same team, by the same brand that for some of you may be known as NIO. You might ask, what is it? ONVO, what brand is it? Actually, this brand is relatively fresh. Their first car, ONVO L60, came out last year. And this is L90, their second car. So if we talk about this brand, ONVO, it's actually quite a new brand, quite a young brand. But behind them is NIO. And NIO, they are one of the pioneers of electric cars here in China. The range of the cars they make is also huge. And the way they make their cars is also quite special. And this ONVO L90 also got what NIO has in some way. Before I introduce you this car in details, let's talk about the prices, because this car is a full-size SUV with 6 seats or 7 seats for your choice. Its length is over 5.14 meters. Its wheelbase is over 3 meters. It's a big car, and the prices start from 260,000 RMB to 290,000 RMB. Its full price will be right here in euros and USD. But the thing is, with NIO and with ONVO, you can rent the battery. It means you do not have to pay for the battery at once, and every month with this car you pay around 900 RMB, which is around 100 euros or so, and you only pay for the entry-level Pro version 170,000 RMB. And its highest trim, the fastest, the most luxurious version, the Ultra, costs a little over 210,000 RMB. And for that money, you get, to be honest, quite a lot. So what do you get for the money you paid? First, the size. We've talked about it. So this is a full-size 6 or 7-seater car. Second, this car is pure electric. It's not a hybrid. So you get the range from 570 kilometers CLTC to 605, depending on what version you choose. The second, then you get the powertrain, which is actually quite interesting. Why? Because you have a choice of a single motor or dual motor. Single motor is a 462 horsepower, 400 Newton meters of torque. And it is at the back. So this car with a single motor is a rear wheel drive car. And if you choose its highest trim, Ultra version, then in the front you have another motor. Yes, its power is not that high. It only has 100 kilowatts, which is around 130 something horsepower with 135 Newton meters of torque. But combined altogether, this car has 599 horsepower with acceleration from 0 to 100 in 4.7 seconds. This car is actually quite fast and quite powerful. Also, if you choose its single motor version, 0 to 100, it does in 5.9 seconds. ONVO L90, it uses a completely new platform. It's a 900 volts platform, which means its charging is fast enough. But it has another very special part to it. You can change the battery just like on NIO cars. which means you can spend 25 minutes charging this car from 10% to 80, or you can spend 5 minutes, go to a battery changing station and change the battery and drive out in 5 minutes with a battery full up to 93% or so. So this car, it has this choice where you can charge it or you can change the battery, and you do not spend too much time on waiting. The thing is, in China, the charging stations and battery swapping stations are quite common. You can find them quite easily, and the number is huge. Of course, if we're talking about battery swapping stations, it's only made by NIO. But ONVO, being one of the sub-brands of NIO, they also can use them, and they also can change the batteries there. Apart from this, if we talk about the suspension-wise, this car is also quite interesting. Why? First of all, in the front it has double wishbone suspension. In the back it's a multi-link. Apart from this car has adaptive damping, and starting from its second trim, from Max to Ultra, it also has air suspension, which means you can control its softness and you can control its suspension's height. And all of this for its price. Wow. Let's talk about its trunk. First of all, its back door is electric. Well, all of the back doors here are electric. The second thing is it opens high enough. My height is 1.75 meters and I stand here comfortably with no problems at all. The third thing is, with all of 6 seats up, with 6 people inside, you still have big enough space for you to put 2 big suitcases. Apart from this, electrically, of course electrically, you can fold the back row, the third row, and you get a huge space where you can put, I don't know, a washing machine, a fridge and a washing machine. Apart from this, underneath this panel, there is another huge space for, I don't know, a golden retriever or something else, which is quite big. But apart from this, apart having a really big and usable trunk, it also has a, how do we call that? Frunk? Well, the space under the hood. Let's go. Being an electric car, it has the space under the hood for your luggage. In most cases, in most of the cars, you have space enough for a sardine or for sleepers from the hotels that you took without telling the hotel owner. But in case of ONVO, there is a very different story, because first of all, it's electrically opened. Second, look at this place, because this is big enough for another 1 big suitcase, or for 2 people, adults, to sit here, go fishing, or doing whatever you want. So this is something new. Let's talk about the space in the front. Well, space-wise, this is a big car, so you will not have any complaints about the space. But what you will notice are these seats, because first of all, the softness of the seats. The second is the support, because apart from being really soft, they are supportive. The next thing is the shape of the seats, because I sit here really comfortably, but it also holds me in the seat. And no matter what size your body is, if you're a little fat or you're thin, you will find quite a nice pose here. If we're talking about the sitting position, which is very important for a car, let's talk about the adjustment first. Because if I say these seats, they are electrically adjusted, well, it will be too easy. First, these seats, they're electrically adjusted, which you do with this quite nice panel over here. The second, it goes down, up. You can also change the degree of the seat. You also can control the back of the seat and the support for your back. Apart from this, the steering wheel, really nice. And the steering wheel is also electrically adjusted, so you can find a really nice, really comfortable position for yourself. Apart from this, if we talk about the quality and luxuriety of this car, they did not skip on this part either. Why? Because all of the parts, all of the panels, everything that you touch feels expensive. Everything is covered by leather or wood, real wood, which you feel the wood by your fingers, or Alcantara. And it's not just the upper side, it's all the way down there. Yes, down there you might feel some hard plastic, but most of it is covered by leather. So the feeling, the luxuriety, the quality here, it's something that you're not expecting to get for the price you're paying for it. If I compare the interior of this car with, let's say, cars, European cars that are well known for everybody, let's say BMW X7 or Mercedes GLS, it will not be shy in front of them, and in many cases it will be actually better. And it's not that they skipped on the equipment also, because first of all, you have the screen, a big 17.2-inch screen, if I'm not mistaken, with 3K resolution, which is really responsive. And using this screen, you can control everything, and you do not have to touch it because you can use your voice to control everything. Of course, you have to do it in Chinese here in China, but in Europe you could use English. Apart from this, you have air conditioning. Okay, I said air conditioning. You have climate control in the front and in the back, all of the rows. Apart from this, you have 23 speakers with really nice sound. Apart from this, you have heads-up display, which is huge and shows you everything. Yes, you do not have the screen over here, which I personally do not like, because they went the way Tesla does their cars, with all of the information giving right here in this corner of the screen. I do not like this part, but the HUD is huge, it shows you everything, and apart from this, it has L2 assisted driving, which, without a LiDAR, but lots of sensors and cameras, allows you to drive, or allows it to assist you on highways or in the city. It also has wireless charging, it has everything you need in the front. Now, let's take a look what it has on the second row. Being a big family SUV, the back row, in this case, or two back rows, the second and the third, are quite important. And if we talk about the space, well, I am 1.75 meters height. I sit behind myself, and this seat is adjusted really low, quite sporty position. I sit here with no problem. I have enough space. The headroom is huge, and the seats are as comfortable as the front seats. Apart from this, I did not tell you about these seats enough. Why? Because the front seats and the second row, they have massage, they have heating, and they have cooling, the front and the back seats. If we talk about the third row, they also have heating. You can electrically adjust the seats here to find a really nice position. Apart from this, here you have a really nice table for you to, I don't know, for kids to do homework, or for you to eat some yogurt, or to work, whatever you think of. Apart from this, you have the screen right here, which you can use to control your climate control, or to watch some video or listen to the music. Apart from this, you can open your, where is it? Fridge, which it also has right here, which is a little dirty. That's why I'm closing it. But the thing is, you can keep ice cream in it, or you can warm your food. Apart from this, apart watching movies and cartoons and everything for the kids, one thing which is really, really important for the families is this. 小乐小乐打开第二排娱乐屏. On the ceiling, it has 17.3 inch, if I'm not mistaken. Well, you will see the size of it. 3K screen, which you can use to watch whatever you want, with the remote controller, which you can use, and with its 23 speaker system. This is a really nice place to be at. Now let's take a look at its third row. I'm sitting in the third row right now. The first and the second row, they are adjusted to my position. Not the positions that I can sit, but the positions that is comfy for me. I sit behind myself. First of all, the space. Yes, my knees can touch the back of this seat, but if I sit a little bit more, relaxed, then it's perfectly fine. Apart from this, these third row seats are really comfy. They're just as soft, as nice as the seats in the front. Apart from this, I can electrically adjust the back. Apart from this, I have a cup holder, I have a place for my phone, I have a Type-C charging, and I have the heating on the third row. The thing is, with many cars, 6 or 7 seats cars, the third row is a kind of a unusable thing, or something where your knees are really close to your ears. So it's not really usable for adults. Maybe kids could sit, but in China, it's a very different thing, because for China, for people in China, the second row, and if it's a 6-seater, the third row, the space is really, really important. And if you do not do it well, if you do not have enough space on the third row and the second row, this car will not sell. That is why this car, ONVO L90, in this case, is really, really nice. And apart from this, it feels quite luxurious here, with leather, soft touch plastics, and Alcantara, with air conditioning in here and everything for the money, for a lot more money even. It's really nice. This car has a really nice start. The size, the space, the stuff, the toys you get inside, the luxuriety of the interior, the powertrain, the suspension and everything. But how it translates to the driving? How does this thing drive? ONVO L90. How does this big guy drive? Let's start from its powertrain. The versions that we are driving today is a single motor. But the thing is about this car, they did not go a very simple way where they put the motor in the front. They put the motor at the back. So this car, if it's a single motor version, is a rear wheel drive car. So what about the performance? Well, it has 462 horsepower. It has 400 Newton meters. It does 0 to 100 in 5.9 seconds. This car is quick. But the thing is how it delivers this power. Because this car is a rear wheel drive car, it gives you a very clear sense of pushing but not pulling. So when you drive it, you do not feel that this car is a single motor car because it pushes. Yes, of course, if the road will be slippery, if it will be rain, heavy rain, or it will be cold and it will be snowy, you will feel that this car is a rear wheel drive. But in most of the cases, in 99% of the cases, especially here where we are in Ningbo, you do not feel that this car is only a rear wheel drive car. Also, the way it delivers the power is quite interesting. Why? Yes, it's quick. It has close to 500 horsepower. But if you choose its comfort mode, well, it's quite civilized, it's quite nice, it's quite luxurious. You step on the pedal and it delivers the power, and it does it very softly. Of course, if you step really hard, if you need a lot of power, if you need acceleration, it will give it to you. But daily drive on this car, I would say it's really comfortable. And of course, being an electric car, electric motors, they work very different from petrol engines or diesels. They give you the maximum horsepower or torque from zero. You do not have to wait until a certain rev range where it will give you the most what it has. From zero, it gives you everything. So no matter what, it has enough power to do an acceleration or overtake a car. It's a very different story when you choose its sports mode. It will be more direct, it will be quicker, but nevertheless, this car, it's more about comfort. A lot of power and comfort. Being a rear wheel drive, is that a minus? Is that something that you should consider? In many cases, no. For maybe 90% of people, this would be more than enough. But of course, if I would consider buying this car, I would go for a four-wheel drive, for dual motor version. A few words about the brakes. Well, brake-wise, I'm driving this car not for the first time. We did a test on our Chinese channel where I spent a few days driving this car, and now driving this car. To be honest, I did not pay too much attention to the brakes. Why? Because it's not something that will make you pay attention on it. Because first of all, the brake pedal, it's heavy enough but not too heavy. It's responsive enough but not too jerky or too nervous. So you control its braking quite naturally. And you do not have to press it really deep. You just apply a little more pressure on it. You control the weight of the pressure on the brake pedal, and that's it. So this is what you are expecting from a really nice tuned brake pedal or braking system. So this is something that you're expecting from, let's say, a very well-tuned European car, or a car with enough experience to make a fine-tune all of the parts. So the brakes, they give you this feel. So you will have enough confidence using them. And this is the reason why you do not pay too much attention to it. Let's say a few words about the steering wheel, and let's start from the weight of the steering wheel, because the weight is actually quite important for how you feel this car. Not how it behaves, but how it feels in your hand. So you can choose, you want it to be heavier or you want it to be light. So you have this choice, and that's a good thing. Of course, if you choose different modes, its weight also will change. But no matter which weight you choose, the feel of the steering wheel is, I would say this way, it's not really simple. I could say this way, it has enough luxuriety to it. So it has enough weight, but also it feels like you're turning it inside the water. Also, it gives you enough information about what your front wheel's doing, what kind of pavement you're driving on, what degree your wheels are turned to. Also, its head is responsive enough. If we consider this car close to 2.3 or even over 2.3 tons weight of a car. Its nose is actually quite responsive. Of course, we have airmatic suspension, we have adaptive driving. If you use its sports mode, its steering behavior also will change. Why? Because the suspension will change. But in comfort mode, the nose is responsive enough, it's quick enough. Also, it gives you enough information about what's happening with the front wheels, and it filters all of the unwanted things from the road. So I could say these steering wheels, it's something you're waiting from a really experienced European or American or international luxury brand. The steering wheel is a really nice thing to hold on and to use. Is it sporty? Well, of course not. We're talking about a car that is 2.3 tons. A car that over 5 meters long with a wheelbase over 3 meters. No, it's not sporty, but it's nimble. For its size, for its weight, it's nimble and it's really nice to drive. So I think this is something that matters in a car like this, a family car. Yes, why not? Now let's talk about the suspension, because suspension is also quite an interesting part of this car. Why? First, if we talk about what it gives you for its price is, well, wow. We have airmatic, we have adaptive damping, we have double wishbone in the front, and we have multi-link at the back. So if we talk about the design of the suspension, well, it sounds really, really nice, but what kind of a drive you do get? Well, it depends on what kind of mode you choose. And also in each mode, you can separately tune its feel. In the comfort mode, which is supposed to be really comfortable, I can choose its comfort mode. In the comfort mode, I can choose the height of the suspension because it has airmatic, which means I can change the height. I can choose the travel of the suspension, I can choose the softness of the suspension. So it can give you different kind of feelings, but no matter what, it's comfy. You can choose its sportiest mode, and in its sportiest mode, it will be comfortable. Yes, it will be more tight. Yes, the suspension travel will be less, but it will be, considering its sport mode, considering what you get, considering its weight, it will be enough comfy. And this is, I would say, the way this kind of car should be. You will not buy this car for its sportiness, or you will not buy this car for pure driving pleasure. No, this car is for comfort. It's about taking lots of people in a really comfortable environment far away. And in China, with lots of electric charging stations, you can take people really far away without lots of trouble. It's soft enough, it's compliant enough, it's crisp enough, considering its size, weight, and if we think about the price that people pay for it here in China, this is something I could only say, wow, that's an achievement. The other things that you notice driving this car is how quiet it is. And I would not compare it to the cars from the same segment or the same price. It's quite enough to be compared to cars like Mercedes GLS, and considering this is an electric car, you do not get engine noise, you do not get lots of mechanical noises. This car is actually quieter. So driving this car, talking with people inside, it's a really nice place to be, considering how well it drives, how soft it is, how compliant it is, how well damped it is, and how quiet it is. Really nice. Okay guys, for those who watch me and you're based here in China and you're planning to buy a car in this range and this size for the family, this is a really nice choice. For those who watch me in Europe, United States, or any other country, ONVO, they are also planning to sell their cars in the future in other countries. I hope you do get in your country this car, because this car, for its price, it gives a lot. It's really nice inside, it drives really well, it gives you a lot of power. Design-wise, yes, I do not really like its front, but behind this, to be honest, a little questionable front, it has a huge trunk, Frunk, space under the hood. And again, for the price, it's really, really nice. Wow, for the price, it's really, really nice. I should say it all the time. Okay, today that's it. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.